of us have been out in the garden and digging, weeding, pruning, whatever we're doing out there. Bending over, doing asymmetrical work that requires some strength. So let's stretch out the front of the body, strengthen the core. Come down to lie on your back in constructive rest to begin. If your back feels tight as you come onto the floor here, you can bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a little stretch, pulling the knees in, feeling the lower back flatten, relaxing the shoulders. If you don't need to do that, you can just have the feet on the floor and begin relaxing into gravity, but take a moment to come to the position where you can be comfortable. And if you had your knees hugged, let the feet come to the floor as you're ready. Feel the feet touching the floor. Notice the back of the sacrum. Feel your shoulder blades. Spread them out a little bit if you can and flatten them very broadly. Let your arms relax all the way down to the fingers. Check in with your neck. And let's slowly turn the head from one side and to the center, back to the other side, and to the center. And allow the head to settle into that point at the back of the head. Soften the face. Take a couple of slow breaths and feel the movement of the ribs. Observe the neutral spinal curve, lumbar curve. We'll be working some with that neutral position, sometimes with the flat position. If your lower back feels vulnerable, you can flatten it down towards the floor whenever you need to. Let's bring the arms close to the sides. Turn the palms to face each other. And float the arms up to vertical. I'm going to stay here with the arms vertical. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling and then slowly settle your shoulders down and let the humeral heads drop down into the shoulder joints. And then reach up again. Your shoulders are going to go even broader, shoulder blades nice and broad in the back, and then settle the shoulders and feel the humeral heads drop down into the sockets. One more time, reach up with the arms, with the shoulders, settle the shoulders and the arm bones into the sockets, and pause here, relaxing the arms in the vertical position. Make some small circles. Keep feeling the humeral heads dropping down into the socket. Reverse the circles. And then steady the arms, hands directly above the shoulder joints. Bring your attention down to the base of the spine and to the pelvic floor, which is anchored on the tailbone, the two sit bones and the pubic bone. Picture the diamond that creates. Take an inhale with the diamond in your mind's eye. And as you exhale, shrink the diamond down into the center to engage the pelvic floor. Squeeze the sphincters, lift the perineum towards the crown of the head. And then relax that, soften. Be sure the shoulders, the neck, the face, all are still relaxed. Inhale, prepare for the pelvic floor. And exhale, gather it in towards the center. And this time, feel the belt of the transversus joining in that engagement, coming from around the spine and buckling beneath the belly button. And then relax both the pelvic floor and the transversus, releasing completely. One more time. Inhale, prepare. We're going to engage the inner core. With the exhale, find the pelvic floor engagement and then gather that belt of the transversus around and use the pair of them to stabilize the neutral spine-pelvis relationship, and let your arms go back towards the wall behind you. As your hands go back, you want to keep the balls in the socket. You want to feel like your shoulder blades are coming down towards the back pockets a little bit. As you float the arms up, think into the joint rather than at the hands, and bring the arms up by rolling the humeral head in the socket, and then settle your arms down at your sides. Relax the arms, the shoulders, and the inner core. Inhale, float the arms to vertical. Exhale, engage the inner core and reach back, keeping the humeral heads deep in the sockets, the shoulder blades pulling to the back pockets. Neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Float the arms back up towards the ceiling. Keep working in the inner core. And then as the arms come down, then you can release the effort as it's no longer necessary to maintain the neutral spine. Do it one more time. Inhale, the arms float up. And re-engage the inner core and reach back. Keep the humeral heads in the sockets. Keep pulling your shoulder blades down towards your back pockets. Keep your lower back still. Keep your pelvis still. And float the arms back up to vertical. And then stay there. Relax the shoulders. Relax the core work. And then we'll bring the hands behind the head. Interlace the fingers. Open the elbows out nice and wide. Feel a stretch across the front of the chest and the armpits. Inhale. Feel how your ribs are flaring wide apart from each other and pulling away from the mat. And then as you exhale, imprint your back ribs down. Feel your front ribs pull together. Keep your elbows out wide and keep your neutral spine. And then inhale, relax that effort. Feel the ribs flare. And exhale again. Imprint the back ribs and lift the front ribs together. Keep your elbows out wide. Keep your neutral lumbar curve. And inhale, let the ribs flare. One more time. Exhale, back ribs imprint, front ribs knit. Engage your inner core. Keep your neutral spine and go to a head lift. Raise the head. Keep your lower back neutral. Lower back down. Ribs imprinting and knitting. Lower abdominals engage the pelvic floor and the transversus belt. One more time. Lift up. Now we're going to keep the head up. Now we're going to add a pelvic tilt. Bring your tail between your legs. Bring your pubic bone towards your navel. Feel your lower back go flat. Keep it flat and slide your right heel away from you. Keep it out there. Keep the back flat and slide the left heel away from you. Scoop your belly button in. Externally rotate the legs. And then lift up just a little higher with the head. Keep pulling your belly button in and flattening your lower back. And then bring the legs to parallel and lower the head back down. Relax everything. Re-engage your inner core. Imprint and knit your ribs. Tilt the pelvis. Lift the head. Rotate the legs to external rotation. Scoop the belly. You can pull gently on the head with the hands. Keep pressing the belly button towards the spine, lowering your lower back to the floor. Then roll back down. Let everything relax. One more time. Engage the inner core. Imprint and knit. Tuck the tail. Scoop the belly in. And lift. External rotation in the legs. So scooping the belly button to the spine. And roll back down. Keep your flat back this time. Slide the right heel in. And the left heel in. And then relax to neutral. Let everything relax for a moment. And then re-engage. Find your inner core, your imprint and your knit. Bring the pubic bone to the navel to flatten the back and keep the flat back as you straighten your left leg away. And then add the right leg, keep flattening the back. Keep flattening the back and reach the arms up overhead. And then relax the effort. As you exhale, engage the inner core, imprint and knit. Tuck your tail, scoop your belly in. Bring the spine down, not all the way to flat, but to neutral. And then keep it neutral. Move your upper body towards the left side, keeping your right hip down. Move your legs over towards the left side, keeping the back of the pelvis steady on the right side. Take your right foot over the left and grab a hold of your right wrist. Reach your right hip down, reach your back right ribs down, and breathe into the side stretch of your right side. There's a little bit of a pelvic tilt happening, so you're not in a big arch in your lower back. You do have your back ribs down. And then come back up into the center. Stretch your arms, stretch your legs. Go ahead and let everything go. Feel how the lower back goes into an increased arch. And then bring it about halfway towards the flat back and walk the feet and the upper body to the right, keeping the left hip and the left back ribs down. Left ankle over the right, grab a hold of your left wrist and stretch your left side. Reaching your left hip down to the mat, reaching your left back ribs down. Breathe into the length of the left side. And then straighten back up into the center, reach long. You're going to scoop the belly and, engage the inner core, scoop the belly, imprint into the ribs, float the arms up to vertical, and slide the left heel in, and then the right heel in. Keep your back flattening, lift one foot up and then the other. Keep the back flat. We're going to go to the 100. Press the palms down, lift the head, extend the legs, flattening the back, externally rotate the legs, and exhale for 5 pulses, and inhale for 5. Keep flattening the back, exhale for 5, and inhale. Exhale, scoop the belly and drop the shoulders, chin to the chest. Exhale, and inhale. Keep pressing the lower back down, exhale, and inhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, one more time, exhale, inhale, bring your head down, one hand on each knee, take the knees out wide, and stir your thigh bones around your hip joint. Let the legs be loose and floppy, reverse. Now we're going to take the knees out wide and press gently down on the knees. This may be enough for you. If you want a little bit more stretch, you can reach the bottoms of the feet towards the ceiling, grab into your insteps, and press down so that your feet are pointing, the bottoms of your feet are as though you're standing on the ceiling. If that's too much, just keep the knees bent and press down on the inner legs. And then we're going to bring the knees into the chest and rock back and forth on the sacrum. Keeping the flat back, lower one foot down, and then the other. Relax to neutral. We keep the shoulders relaxed, engage the inner core. Keep your neutral, unless your back is really sore or tight, in which case you can go to a flat back. We're going to keep neutral and lift the right foot up. Flex the heel, extend the leg out long. Point the toe and lower the leg down towards the floor, keeping your neutral spine. And lift the leg and come up towards the ceiling, stretching the back of the leg without flattening your back. Then bend your knee and lower the foot down. Re-anchor. Keep the pelvis still as you lift the left foot up. Flex your foot, extend out through the heel, and then point your toes. Lower the leg down, keep your neutral spine, or keep your flat back if that's what you're working with. And lift back up and come to a hamstring stretch, and bend the knee, anchor, and lower back down. You're neutral the whole time. Stabilize neutral, lift the right foot, stretch out through the heel. Point the toes and lower down. And lift back up, keep the tailbone down, bend the knee, and release the foot to the floor. Then the same thing on the left, neutral spine as you lift. Flex the foot, reach to the heel, point the toes, lower the leg down, keep your neutral spine. Maintain the neutral spine as you lift up, and bend the knee, lower the foot down. If you have anything behind your head, take it out as we prepare for a pelvic lift. Engage the inner core, tilt the pelvis, imprint and knit the ribs, press into the feet and raise the hips towards the ceiling. Lengthen the back of the neck, then roll back down. Make sure you're imprinting, scooping the belly, tilting the pubic bone towards the navel, and then releasing to neutral. Again, engage the inner core first, then get your pelvic tilt, your imprint and your knit, press into the feet and lift. And then massage along the spine as you come down, scooping the belly, imprinting the ribs, finally releasing into neutral. One more time, inner core, tilt the pelvis, imprint and knit, press into the feet as you lift the hips, and roll it back down, massaging along the spine. Relax completely. I'm going to bring the right knee into the chest, and straighten the left leg out along the floor. Pull the knee in, lengthen the left thigh. Bring your hands behind your leg, and get your tailbone down into the mat. And then straighten the right leg up and bend the knee. And straighten it and bend it. When you do this motion, keep your pelvis still. Straighten up, then flex the foot back and point the toes to the ceiling. Flex back and point, flex, point. Now stabilize and circle the leg 5 times around. Keep your pelvis still, keep your ribs steady. And reverse the circles. Keep steadying the pelvis, wrap your belt around, keep imprinting and knitting your ribs. Then pull the knee into the chest. And bring your left leg into join. Hug both knees. And lower the right foot down. Hug the left knee into the breastbone, straighten the right leg out along the floor. It's okay if the back goes flat here for a moment, but press your back thigh, right thigh down. And then release the hug over the left knee till you feel your tailbone on the mat. Get your hands behind the thigh and straighten the leg up. Stretch the hamstring and bend the knee. Keep your pelvis still. Straighten the leg up and bend the knee. Keep the pelvis still, anchored. Straighten up. Keep the leg up and flex the foot back. Point the toes. Flex, point, flex, point. Stabilize and circle the leg 5 times. Keep the pelvis still as you do your circles. And reverse. And then hug the knee and bring the right knee in as well. Relax the feet. Lower one foot down and then the other foot. And relax completely. Let's turn to the left side. Straighten out long on the left side, getting a nice long line down the front of the body. Right hand on the right waist. Engage the inner core. Take an Oregon lift, so you're lifting your organs up into the right waist. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Be sure your neck is relaxed and lift both legs up, and then take the top leg up and down 5 times. Keep your pelvis still, and then lower the bottom leg down and up 5 times. Keep steadying the pelvis. Fingertips onto the mat in front of you if you like. Both legs forward and back. Take your time. Stretch the back of the leg as you go forward, and the front of the leg as you go back. Good, come into the center and flex the feet back. Squeeze the toes, point the feet, fan the toes and flex back. Squeeze, point, fan, flex, squeeze, point, fan, flex. Do the reverse, open the toes, reach, squeeze and come back. Open and reach, squeeze and come back one more time. Relax the feet down. Now engage the core, take your organ lift, bend your right leg and reach behind you and grab a hold of the ankle, or you might grab a hold of your pant leg. If you have a yoga strap, you can use that. Then we're going to stretch the front of the right thigh. Find a variation that will work for you. Lengthening the knee away from the head. You can pull the knee close to the buttock, or reach the knee behind you if you need more stretch, or not quite as far back if you need less stretch. Now we're going to release that, and then bring both knees to a bent position, 0 degree hip flexion. The right leg should feel nice and long and ready, and we're going to rotate the leg out in the socket 5 times. Keep the pelvis still. Let's go to 45 degrees, bringing the knees forward, keeping the feet back. Stabilize around the pelvis. Roll the leg out in the socket 5 times here. And then go to the 90 degree hip flexion. Stay long through the spine, engage the core. Make sure the knees are stacked, and do 5 rotations here. Okay, let's take a stretch. Right foot in front of you. Hold it with your right or left hand, or hold the leg with your left hand, and open the right arm out to the side. So that you're twisting the spine and stretching the hip and stretching the hamstring. Reach that right shoulder down to the mat and stretch your right foot as far in front of you as you can. So there's a long distance between your right foot and your right hand. and then roll to the back. Bring both of your knees into your chest. Turn your head slowly from side to side. And then go head over onto the other side, stretching out long on your right side. Reach long through the front of the body. Left hand on the left hip. Engage the inner core. Take your organ lift into your hands and then lift both feet up. If you need your fingertips on the mat for balance, go ahead and do that. And we're going 5 times up and down with the top leg, keeping the pelvis still. And then 5 times down and up with the bottom leg. And then let's go forward and back. Keep anchoring the pelvis so the legs are both moving, but the pelvis is still, the rib cage is still, the shoulders are still. And then bring the legs to the center. Squeeze the inner thighs, flex the feet and squeeze the toes. Point the feet, fan the toes. Flex back, squeeze, point, fan, and flex. Once again, squeeze, point, fan, flex. Toes stay open as you reach. Squeeze the toes and retract. Open the toes and reach, squeeze, and pull back one more time. And relax the legs down. Anchor. Take your organ lift and bend your left leg behind you. Grab a hold of the foot or the pant leg or use a yoga strap. And lengthen the distance between the top of the head and the left knee, finding the stretch in the front of the left thigh. Try not to let your knee go down and your foot go up if you tend to do that. Try to keep them level with each other. Stretching the front of the thigh. You may find some stretch in the inner thigh too, depending on how tight your adductors are. And then we'll release that and bend both knees so that the feet are behind you and you're still in a nice long hip extension, 0 degree hip flexion. Stabilize the pelvis, and we're going to roll the left leg out in the socket 5 times. Keep the pelvis steady. Use the external rotators and the hip extensors. We'll go to 45 degree hip flexion. Just move the knees forward, keep the feet underneath you. Anchor, keep the pelvis still and roll the leg out in the socket. Again, 5 times. And then to the third position, 90 degree hip flexion. Lengthen, line the knees up, stabilize the pelvis, and rotate 5 times here. Let's take the left leg straight forward. Reach down and grab the foot or the leg with your right hand. Open your left shoulder to the floor. Reach out long with the left arm. And get as much space between the left hand and the left foot as you can. Feeling the twist in the spine. Dropping the left shoulder. Reaching your left foot far away from your left hand. And breathe. And then roll onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. Okay, we're going to go over onto the stomach with the hands underneath the forehead. Lengthen the front of the body. Feel the front of the legs long against the floor. Relax them. Turn and look at your left elbow. Put your right hand on the outside of your right thigh. Engage your inner core. And then let's take a little pelvic tilt here. Pull your tail between your legs just to lengthen the lower back. And then we're going to try to keep the lower back lengthened somewhat as we begin our lift. We're going to pull the ribs together, engage the inner core, pull the ribs together, lift the left arm and head, looking at the elbow, and lift the right leg, and lower back down. And keep tilting your tail between your legs the whole time. Twice more. Lift the upper body, continuing to look to the left, and lift the right leg, lower back down, tail between the legs. Once more. And lower down. Stack the hands up, bring the head to the center, relax the legs and buttocks completely. And then look to the right. Put your left hand on the outside of your left thigh. Engage your inner core and tuck your tail. Knit your ribs together in the front and then lift the upper body. Looking to the right, lift your left leg and lower back down. Keep your tail tucking between the legs. Lift. Keep tucking the tail, lifting the left leg, the upper body, looking to the right. One more time. Lift and lower. Stretch both arms straight out in front of you. Put your forehead on the mat. Relax your legs. Engage your inner core. Tuck your tail between your legs. Knit your ribs together. Then nudge your nose forward until just the very tip of the nose is touching the mat. Press your palms down into the floor and then pull your shoulder blades down towards your back pockets. Keep tucking your tail between your legs and keep the nose just hovering right above the mat. So it's hardly hardly a head lift, but your shoulders are pulling down. You should feel your upper back working. Keep tucking the tail and then lower back down. Let the forehead come onto the floor and relax everything. Again, engage the inner core. Tuck the tail between the legs. Knit your ribs together. Nudge your nose forward until just the very tip of the nose is on the floor. Press your palms down, draw your shoulders down your back. Keep tucking your tail between the legs. If you want, you can hover the nose like a millimeter or two off of the mat. Tiny movement. Keep keeping the tail tucked. And then release, lower back down. Let the forehead come onto the mat. One more time. Find the inner core and tuck your tail. Knit your ribs. Nudge the nose forward. Press the palms down. Keep tucking your tail between your legs. Gently pressing the palms, pulling the shoulders down the back. And then release. We'll go to child's pose. Then stand up high on your knees. I'm going to put the left foot forward so that the left ankle and knee are in line with each other. Drop your tailbone down like there's a plumb line from the crown of your head down to the base of the spine. Engage the inner core and then pull your tail between your legs. Feel your right front thigh stretching. Maintain that. Keep tucking the tail. Relax the shoulders. Relax that effort, and then we're going to bend forward and go into a lunge. We're going to bring the hands down to the floor. You might get on your fingertips or your knuckles, in line with your left foot. Engage around the pelvis and then straighten your right leg out so your knee is straight. Push the palms down into the floor. Reach your heel away from the crown of the head. Your knees off of the floor for now. And press those palms down. Lift your breastbone forward. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Keep your inner core anchored and then bend your knee, your right knee, down to the floor. Point your toes behind you and settle into the stretch here. Lift your breastbone away from your belly. Don't strain the neck, but do pull the shoulders down. Tuck the toes, lift the knee, stretch long through the front of the thigh. Then we're going to bring the knee down. Walk the knee a little bit forward so you can come back up to the position where your left ankle and knee are in line. And then straighten that left leg and bring it back to bent and underneath you. Standing up tall on the knees. Bring the right foot forward. Line the right ankle and knee up. Lengthen through the spine, relax the shoulders, engage the inner core, tuck your tail between your legs, and feel the stretch in the front of the left thigh. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Keep tucking the tail between the legs. Relax that and bend down. Place the hands outside of the right knee. And then with the core anchored around the pelvis, just straighten your left leg. Lift the knee off the floor. Reach it behind you. Stretching the front of the left thigh. Going to keep your breastbone moving forward and your heel moving back so there's no collapse. You can be up on your knuckles or your fingertips if you like. And we're going to keep lifting the rib cage away from the waist. Lower the left knee down. Point the toes behind you. Draw the shoulders down the back as you bring your breastbone forward. Again, lift the chest, but don't strain the neck. And then gather the inner core, tuck the toes, go to the lifted knee again. Then we're going to bring the knee down and lift back up so that you're standing on your left knee with the right ankle and knee in line. And then straighten your right leg, then down, and lift back up. Come back to standing on your knees. Now bend forward and place the fingertips on the hands down the floor, and then tuck your toes under and come to a standing forward bend. Relax the upper body. Let your head hang. You can nod yes and no a couple times. Make sure your neck is relaxed. And keep your chin tucked. Bring your hands behind your back. Flatten your back out so you're looking down at your toes, but your chest is open, your back is flat. Find your inner core, wrap your ribs, come all the way up to standing. Release your arms and roll them out in the sockets. Lift the arms out high and wide, stretch long, and then lift up onto the balls of the feet. Feel your breastbone pulling up. Engage your belly towards your spine. Reach your heels down at the same time you're lifting your breastbone up. Heels down, chest up. And then relax the arms down. Once again, roll them out in the sockets. And then relax completely. Stand well, evenly balanced in the front and back of the foot, the inside and the outside of the foot. Lift tall through the crown of the head, relax the shoulders. Okay, that'll do it. Thank you very much. Enjoy, and I will hopefully see you soon. Thanks, bye.